Okay. Welcome to another new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a pre-fight show for UFC Fight Night, Holm versus Correia in Singapore. It's a Fight Pass card, so if you have Fight Pass, definitely don't miss this fight card. If you don't have Fight Pass, get it. They have a free trial. You can check it out. You can watch this card live, and then also watch all the past fights on demand. So I'll do a quick rundown with my predictions of this exciting main card. This is a stacked main card. This honestly could be a pay-per-view main card where you just like tap a title fight on top of the four main card fights, and you'll have a pretty stacked pay-per-view. I mean, that's how stacked it is. So the main event is a women's bantamweight clash with Holm versus Correia. And Correia has pretty good jiu-jitsu skills, and Holm has decent takedown defense, and obviously great boxing and kickboxing. I think with that said, that Holm keeps Correia at bay and gets the win. I think third round knockout. I think Correia gets worn out by the strikes of Holm, and Holm gets her first win in a while. And Correia is going to have to take this fight to the ground. I'm a big fan of both of these ladies, and it's going to be a good main event fight, so don't miss it. Then in the co-main event, in the heavyweight division, we have former UFC heavyweight champ Andre the Pitbull Arlovski versus Marcin Tybura. Marcin Tybura, he's an up-and-comer guy, building his name in the UFC. He's had several fights now in the UFC. And he's, just a guy really who needs that name opponent to really cement his status in the UFC heavyweight division. And Andre Arlovski is obviously a guy that can do that. Andre Arlovski, though, I think, even though he's been on a losing skid for a while now, I think he gets it done first round knockout here. I think he's hungry for the win. He's fought overseas before. This is not a new experience for him, and he's in fact been obviously in main events and big fights. And I think there's not a lot of pressure. It's basically has nothing to lose at this point and everything to gain due to where he's at in his career. And I think he gets it done here with his strikes. I think his boxing gets it done, so he gets first round knockout. Then in the welterweight division, we have Dong Young Kim, a long-time veteran in the UFC. He's fought Carlos Condit and John Hathaway and the like. Tyrone Woodley. And he's fighting Colby Covington. Colby Covington is a guy, great wrestling, decent striking. However, you know what? This one was a coin toss for me because Colby Covington is a guy that's really moving up the ranks. I mean, he's won almost all his fights in the UFC. Dong Young Kim, though, is a long-time veteran, and taking Kim down, I just don't see it happen as easy as Covington has done for past opponents. So I think Dong Young Kim uses his killer judo skills to do some damage here, and I think ultimately he squeaks out a win. But I think this is a back and forth grappling war to a large extent, and then there will be some strikes in the mix. But I think Kim gets it done due to his experience and wanting to really build on the momentum Colby Covington has racked up thus far. So I think Kim gets it done here, but it's a tough one. I'm only giving Kim a 51% chance of winning this fight because Covington is a fairly well-rounded fighter, has a good training camp behind him, and so I'm giving Covington a 49% chance of winning this fight. This one's really a coin toss. It could go either way, so don't take me on this pick, but I'll say 51% Kim wins. Then in also the welterweight division, to kick off the main card, we have Tarek Saffiedine versus Rafael dos Anjos. This one, I got to go with Dos Anjos because of his strikes. I think his fast hands get it done, and both of these guys could get knocked out, but I think Dos Anjos can be looking for that knockout, putting the pressure on Saffiedine, and it's going to make things harder for Saffiedine. Saffiedine, I think if his opponents take their time and try to pick him apart, that's where Turk Saffiedine really strides, is he capitalizes off those opponents. But if a guy from round one puts pressure on him, then Tarek can have issues there. So I think Dos Anjos stylistically is that guy that can beat Tarek Saffiedine, and Dos Anjos gets it done. I'm picking Dos Anjos by decision, but I could see this as a second or third round knockout win for Dos Anjos. And I think welterweight's a good division for Dos Anjos, so he doesn't have to cut all that weight to get to lightweight all the time. So there you have it. There's my picks. I'm picking Dos Anjos by decision. And then we got Gomi and Tuck on the prelims. See, I mean, that's how stacked this card is. And Alex Caceres versus Rolando Dai. That's another great fight. So there you have it. There's my predictions on this card. And stay tuned in the coming days for my post-fight on this. And until then, see ya.